Hey everyone, welcome to the Self-Awareness Journey podcast. I'm Melissa Albers.
And I'm JJ Parker. This podcast is for seekers of happiness, joy, and a centered approach to success in life. Seekers of their true, authentic selves.
Get ready for some real talk on everything from anxiety, emotions, and habits to love, compassion, and forgiveness. We know you'll be challenged and enlightened by this conversation, and we're so glad you're here. Let's dive in. So JJ, a few days ago, I gave up a china hutch that was my grandmother's. And I gave it to a friend of mine, and it was like the last holdout of like guilt holdings, you know, like 85 boxes of whatever from, you know.
Yes, like the box of dishes I have in my basement from my grandma. And
precisely.
Like all that stuff that you feel like you should keep, but isn't overly useful. Right.
So my last holdout was this china hutch. And the thing is that, you remember I told you I can't smell. I haven't had a sense of smell since I had my second child. I just lost my sense of smell. And it never came back 20-some years ago. But anyway, the smell inside of that hutch was very specific to the kind of wood that it was. And she had that hutch in her house for decades. And then I took it. And on occasion, I can get like a ghost smell, like where I can smell just a tiny bit of something, and then only on the first whiff, and then it's gone. No one knows what this is. Doesn't matter for the story. But here's the really interesting thing. Before I gave that hutch up, I opened up the door, I stuck my nose in, and I tried to get the biggest sniff I could so that I could recall the smell of my grandparents' house and my grandparents. And it is such a feeling of comfort. And it was such a feeling of nostalgia. You know, like I could picture where it was in their house. I could picture all the things that she had behind the glass doors, in what order they were, and the stories behind them. Like this is a really big deal for me. And I started to realize, you know, smells have such a connection with memory. And I just thought it'd be kind of a fun conversation to talk about what kind of smells, you know. Yeah. And I mean, it's a funny topic, but it's so valuable when you start to realize how you can recall things.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, like in our kind of our modern digital world, we are very like visual.
Yeah.
Like, right, everything on our computer screens.
Yeah.
You know, we do, like, you know, even this, we're doing like a video call, right? We're not even in the same room.
Right.
And we've kind of like eliminated smell from a lot of our like environment.
Yeah.
And interactions. Yeah. And we've kind of tuned a lot of our things to this more visual medium. Just TVs and screens and things, and we probably don't focus on smell as much as we used to. I was playing. I had a tennis match a few weeks ago down in Bloomington, where I grew up.
Yeah.
And it was at Kennedy Senior High School.
Oh, no way!
My old high school.
Yeah.
And it was outside, and I wanted to use the restroom before we got started. So I walked in the school, and I also kind of just wanted to walk around the school. And same thing, I like walked into that school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this school has like a very specific smell that I remember from going there. And it brought back so many memories about being in high school and walking those hallways and just that time in my life. But that's so interesting. Cool. So it's like they must not have changed the cleaning products in like 30 years.
Weird? It is. Yeah, I know.
Like, why does that building have such a distinct smell to it?
Right. And and just talking about being a school-age kid, I remember in one school we had these desks where, I mean, oh my God, I'm going to sound like a 150-year-old woman right now. But they were desks where you would lift the lid and it had like a little storage inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We all had those. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Well, no, you're right. You know what? Like, I don't think our kids have those kinds of desks anymore.
No, they're just
modern.
flat surfaces, right? However, in mine, I was like really organized inside of my little space, right? And I had a 12-inch ruler because that was a requirement. You had to have a ruler, and I used to hold a ruler to hold that desktop up so I could organize the inside using that ruler. And that desk had a very specific smell. It kind of smelled like pencils.
Yeah,
it sort of smelled like pencils and like old books.
Yeah. And eraser and like eraser shreddings, like
yes.
You remember how like your eraser would smell?
Yes, and then I would go down to the art room, and I specifically remember the smell of that. I don't know what kind of paint, but you see it in almost every school. The tall, bright colored primary paints.
That, like the acrylic, the old acrylic
are they
paint.
Acrylic? Like what is that? Is it acrylic? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. You remember the smell of that?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, you just think about...
it has a very distinct smell.
Okay, so let's talk about some fun summer smells. Because we are in the season of good smells, right? And I was just reflecting on this. Every single time we go to my family cabin and I open up that door, there is a very specific smell. Now, my bonus mom always is like, oh, don't leave any clothes because they'll smell like, and I love the smell because it's like, oh, I love it though. It reminds me of being, being young and the enthusiasm of being at the cabin at a young age and how exciting that was, to just be able to be there and do all the things that you did every single summer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, we're talking about all these old memories that get triggered from smell.
Yeah.
But it is kind of amazing how scent is like a time machine like that.
I know.
It very quickly, maybe more than anything, can bring you back to those moments. Like even maybe more than like seeing a picture or hearing something. I think scent is a pretty interesting time machine.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Just in reflecting on this, because then I was like, oh, this would be so fun. So what summer smells do I remember? Do you know what the smell of those little firecrackers that are like that are all connected like together?
Line. Yeah.
They're all connected together in a line. Yeah. The smell of gunpowder after it has gone off. If you didn't ever have firecrackers because your mom didn't want you to, which was me, but we had neighbor boys. Do you remember they still sell them? They're like these little white. They just have a teeny little ball of gunpowder in them, and you throw them on the ground and they snap.
Yep.
Yeah, those have the similar kind of smell. Those remind me of being a little devious.
We used to, my parents used to buy us firecrackers and stuff all the time. Like, I don't know why.
Really?
But, we'd be up at the cabin, and it was like a dirt road, in front of the cabin.
Yeah.
So my brother and I would, bury these things in holes and start fires on the dirt road and, all these firecrackers.
Start fires! Oh, my God.
Sparks flying everywhere.
Oh,
or those snakes, you could light one end of the snake and it would shh. But it would make such a horrible smell. It's like the worst chemical smell. It couldn't possibly have been good for you.
That must be a boy thing because Mitch had 4 boys in his family and he had one brother, Todd, who is just honestly a problem child, always got in trouble. And Todd always laughs that when their parents would leave, the garage door would just be down and he'd be reaching for the gas can and the matches and he would try to start stuff on fire. Oh my gosh.
So I always like to think about why we're wired in some ways kind of in that survival way. Because the fact is a lot of our thinking is still very primitive,
rooted.
right?
Yeah.
We're very rooted in survival. So when you think about smells and how that served you while while your ancestors were living in the woods, why do you think smell has such a big impact, specifically on our memory?
I don't know.
In that way,
I don't know, but the
like
way
we'd remember where, like we'd smell food and we kind of remember where that was.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like a predator, like how strong. How do you react when you smell a skunk?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah. Who doesn't want to just turn on heel and run miles away with that smell?
Oh my gosh. We were at, like a couple of years ago, we were at my brother-in-law's house, and they live in a very nice house in Chicago, in a very nice neighborhood in Chicago. and we were visiting, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, like it just, there's a skunk smell, and like we just can't get rid of it. And they're like burning candles, they're like doing all of this stuff.
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah, and it was like infiltrated into their house. And they're like, it's been here for like 2 weeks, and we just can't get rid of it. We don't know what happened. And so I was sitting on their back little porch, because I think everyone had gone to do something. I was just like reading a book on their back porch, and I'm like, it smells so skunky out here.
Skunky.
And so I started kind of like looking around in the bushes and like whatever, and lo and behold, there was like a dead skunk. Like,
what? How bizarre!
Like in one of their bushes.
Oh, gross.
So like I went and grabbed their shovel.
Bushes. That's a neighbor that wasn't happy with them, is what
yeah,
that is.
Right.
You know, isn't it? That is great. That is.
But
hilarious.
some of the scents, like especially like a skunk.
Yeah.
Sticks is so potent.
Yes, and do you know what? It does bring back memories. So this is so weird that you brought this topic up, because a few weeks ago I was driving with my daughter, and we were heading on a road that we've headed on a million times, and it happened to be where they used to drive when Mitchell and Megan would drive to school together. It was the same road, and there was a dead skunk. Now, because I can't smell anything now, I never smelled it, and and I said, "Is that a skunk?" And Megan goes, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Oh, really?" And she goes, "Yeah. Don't you remember the time that Mitchell hit a skunk on the way when we went to school? And I made him go and wash the car. How embarrassing. We got into the parking lot. The car smelled so bad. Everybody's like, whose car is that?" And Megan said, "I just bolted I didn't want anybody to know." She said, I made him go and wash the car. And we were late for school, and I marched into the office. This is Megan. I marched into the office, and I said, "You know I am never, ever, ever late. Here's what happened, and I will accept being late because of the smell of this skunk." And the woman's like, "Oh, I'm giving you guys it's an excuse tardy. It's an excuse tardy." But it's exactly how you said it. 3 weeks ago, we're driving by something, and 10 years ago that had happened, or whatever it was, 7 years ago. And for her to have that sharp of a memory with that strong of an emotion behind it is hilarious, right?
It's like it's instinctual. It's
yes.
Yeah.
How about what about the smell of a doctor? What about the smell of like
doctors' offices
hospitals
have
or clinics?
Very specific smells.
Yeah. That used to be a huge trigger for me. Just the smell of alcohol and whatever it is, like cleaning supplies or whatever. I really, really, really hated that. Can you recall any other smells that come to mind?
Well, one of my favorite smells is like being like in the wilderness in pine trees, like pine needles.
Oh, that is a great smell.
It's like the smell. For me, it is the smell of the Boundary Waters, which is pine trees and water, and just like that whole, the forest there has such an amazing smell to it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? There's a whole cottage industry on companies that make soaps and candles and scent containers that smell like evergreen, right?
Yeah.
And it's often around Christmas time, but it's also used all the time, just cabins and that sort of thing. That artificial smell. You know, the artificial smells are never, ever, ever like the real thing, are they?
No. The other smell that I get kind of really keyed in on is when we go on some of these like rock climbing trips. Yeah. We end up hiking in the desert quite a bit. And like you think of the desert and it's like, I mean, it's sand. But there are trees and there's some bushes, you know, and it's all like real low. This is not like big tall forests like we've got in Minnesota. It's just all scrub brush stuff. But you'll be walking along and it won't be anything, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a very fragrant smell from one of these little bushes.
Oh, interesting.
And I always find that so fascinating because it can be kind of desolate and then all of a sudden it's like filled with aroma.
Yeah, that is interesting. One thing that you haven't said, which I'm surprised, but I actually have a core memory of the smell of a tennis ball canister getting opened. It makes that sound. It smells so fresh, tennis ball smell. It reminds me of the very first time I got to hold a tennis racket. I was 7 years old. And I remember going to the tennis court with my mom and like that opening up that, and I was like, oh, like what is this? And the smell of that, it was like, it represents for me this time where I was like allowed to be a little bit of a grown up. And that's what I think every time I smell a tennis ball. Isn't that funny? Crazy? I never even really realized that actually till I just started talking about that. The number of things that really bring me back to such specific things.
What about the smell of a Sharpie?
Oh, right. Exactly. How many times did you whip that cap off and
every time I use a Sharpie, I take the cap off and I smell the Sharpie.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Do you know what? I am so hyper focused on the smell of those kinds of pens that I buy Mr. Sketch pens because you can buy them, you know, the big chunky ones. You can buy them and they smell like fruit flavors.
Oh yeah.
So so even though I can't smell on occasion, if there's a very, very strong smell, then it will hit me. It has to be very, very specific and very strong. But those are one of them, those Sharpie smells. And so I actually get because when, you know, facilitating events, you're all day writing on whiteboards and flip charts. And those Mr. Sketch ones, people are always like, oh, I remember those. Where'd you get those? I am such a product of the 70s because that is when 3M came out with, late 70s, early 80s was when 3M came out with scratch and sniff stickers.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember
those
that?
Those were the best.
Oh, scratch and sniff stickers. Oh, my gosh. And you'd trade them, and they would line your Trapper Keeper. You'd get bored. You'd just go in for a banana split smell.
Now that I think about it, I'm just like, how many weird chemicals have we sniffed? Like, more sounds like we're doing drugs than like building memories from smell.
Well, I also, this is another crazy one. I mean, I just like, as I'm talking, I just more and more coming to them. There was one place that I was working. It was like the first place I got a job being like a grown up. And I didn't like the job. I didn't like the people. I didn't like the place. But I didn't really know I didn't know because I was so young. And anyway, I do remember they had one of those commercial coffee makers. You know, those big bun, whatever, stainless steel. And if you left it on too long, it got this absolutely horrible burnt coffee smell. Do you remember that smell?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And every time I smell that, I think of that place. It's like so rooted in those two things go together.
Yeah. There are some smells that are very triggering.
Yeah.
Like that, like burnt coffee to me. For me, it's burnt eggs. I don't know what it is about burnt eggs.
Burnt eggs? I don't even know what that smells like.
Well, you're fortunate.
Food though.
It smells terrible. Like
food is a thing. You know what? The smell of food that I absolutely get, my stomach flips still if I smell it. I can't really, but the last time I did, liver. Even thinking about the smell of something, ooh, that's an interesting thing. Can you bring up the smell by thinking about it? Can you recall the smell just by thinking about it? Both my parents loved liver, and I would have to sit at the table until I ate my liver, and I couldn't do it. I'd sit there for 2 hours. I couldn't do it. Oh, why?
My mom used to make sauerkraut. I would remember, like, she would make sauerkraut and, like, open the whole house up because it was so fragrant. Like, she could only, like, make it in the summer because she had to open the whole house up. But I love the smell. Like, I don't actually really like the taste of sauerkraut, but I love the smell of sauerkraut. And I think it's because she used to make it when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sure it was. It was. How about the smell of, like, fresh strawberries or, like, garden stuff? You know, like, that is the best when something is warm from the outdoors and it's, I just think that's amazing.
Like the smell of dirt.
Yes, the smell of dirt. I love the smell of dirt. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. You know, that lawn smell. Oh, that's such a great smell. I really feel like I'm getting hosed not being able to smell. This conversation's making me think, come on. Why? Why?
I think this episode was like your idea, but it sounds more like you just want to reminisce about when you used to be able to smell.
Maybe that's what it is. My covert way.
The other smell we've got that is really potent is the smell of people.
Oh, yes.
And good and bad. I mean, I
that's true.
I have had teenagers. You've had teenagers. Sometimes they don't smell the best.
Or sometimes, oh my gosh. You know what was really big when my son was a teenager was that spray Axe.
Oh my gosh, Axe body spray. Yeah, my middle kid would mix not showering with way too much cologne. I'm like, dude, you're not hiding anything here. It's just two really potent fragrances together.
Okay. Can I tell you a very funny story about the smell of Axe? This, again, that smell reminds me of the story every single time. Mitchell went to this camp. Wolfridge is what it's called. I'm sure a lot of people, if they've had kids, have gone to Wolfridge. And they had all these boys that stayed in a cabin together. And my husband was the one who was he was their whatever, their guy. And these boys were axe bombing people. So they would axe bomb each other, where they would spray under they were just brats at this age, right? They just were really difficult. And they were so young. And they decided on this camping excursion that they were all going to have a bet on who was going to ask a girl out first. I think they're in 5th grade or 6th grade, right? So in between axe bomb smell, I remember one kid goes, fine. And he walks up to a girl at the lunchroom right after they made this bet, and he goes, hi, would you like to go to the grocery store with me? And she goes, no. And he goes, I'm done. But I remember that because of the axe. Isn't that funny?
One, a lot of people will wear a cologne or perfume.
Right.
Like, I remember my grandma always wore perfume.
Right.
So, like, whenever I smell that somewhere walking around, I'll be like, oh, that smells like my grandma.
Oh.
But that association, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's instant. It's
like,
instant.
I couldn't explain it. Like, that's another thing that's interesting about sometimes fragrances.
Right.
Is like, I couldn't explain what it smells like.
Right.
Because I can't quite remember enough. But as soon as I smell it, it's like instant.
Oh, I know. I totally agree. You remember we have a mutual friend that owned a company for a while that did trade show booths.
Oh, yes.
And do you remember that?
He talked about that. Like, they would do scent marketing.
Yeah, so their trade show booth that they had would include, it was a very specific exercise in all 5 senses. So when you would go in, like, the lighting would change, and but it also kicked out a scent. And I don't remember what the scent was. I can't remember what it was. But it was intentionally a smell to lure people in. And I don't remember if it was like chocolate chip cookies or if it was something that people loved. General populations adored. And I always felt sad that never made it, that whole concept.
Well, in retailing, right, if you walk into the mall and you go from store to store, there's definitely some stores that are very heavy perfumed.
Oh, yes,
in there.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Or if you like walk around the corner and like the chocolate chip cookie store is there.
Or
the whole food court's filled with
exactly.
chocolate chip cookie smell.
Oh, yeah.
or walking through a state fair, right?
Yeah.
That is just a
oh my gosh,
ton of smells.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Oh, this has been really fun reminiscing about some of these smells.
It is fun. There are parts where it makes me think like it's so good to use smells to remember. Mm-hmm. Also, like, I think there's probably a bunch of smells that might be kind of triggering that might put you in a bad mood, and you don't even realize it. It's because of the smell.
Oh my gosh, you're totally right. Yeah.
For Amber, like, she's really smell sensitive.
I was too.
So the idea that the boys are putting on like way too much cologne and just like she's got to like leave the house, just like I can't even be in here. But if you're really smell sensitive, like that is an issue. Like she doesn't wear perfume. She doesn't wear. We have unscented laundry detergent because she just can't even handle the scent of standard Tide.
Do you know what? That is exactly how I was before I had Megan. And when I got pregnant with Megan, I was so morning sick for like 4 months. Any smell, and I would just say, God, please take away my smell. I can't take it. And I'll be darned. As soon as I had her, I lost my sense of smell for no reason. Makes no sense. I have no. Yeah. So I think that's true. Some people are definitely triggered more. Oh.
Cool. Well, I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. I'm going to get you like a chamber, and we're going to put like 20 cans of tennis balls in there, and we're going to like crack them all at the same time, and we're going to make such an intense tennis ball smell that you're going to smell it.
Yay, I can't wait.
Did you enjoy this episode? Please go to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review so others can discover it as well. Growing self-awareness is a lifelong journey, and it's better when we're all in it together. Please think of someone you know who could benefit from hearing today's conversation and share this episode with them.
We can't thank you enough for listening. Until next time, happy exploring.